and do you have a message for him?
Honestly, he got a fight next week, right? So it seemed like he focused on me, and Lamont Roach is focused on him. I think I'm going to go put my bet in on Lamont Roach.
As you talk sports, is
the overall makeup of a Tank Davis is surprising to most fighters. It won't be surprising to Lamont Roach. And Lamont is a DMV fighter himself, which means he got that dog, you know? It's going to be a good fight.
And do you have a message for him? Honestly, he got a fight next week, right? So, it seemed like he focused on me and Lamont Roach is focused on him. I think I'm going to go put my bet in on Lamont Roach. As you talk sports, is the overall makeup of a Tank Davis is surprising to most fighters. It won't be surprising to Lamont Roach, and Lamont is a DMV fighter himself, which means he got that dog. You know it's going to be a good fight. Gervonta, Tank Davis and Lamont Roach have their fight tomorrow. And boxing professionals have made their final picks. Interestingly, Lamont Roach's confidence during the press meetings and all through the build-up paid off, as he has been earned the belief of some boxing professionals, even if the dreaded Gervonta Davis isn't looking like he's ready to give up his perfect boxing record when it comes to the invitation thing. But obviously he here for, but you know, for a reason he do what he's supposed to do. With the guys that's in front of him, he got good. Gervonta Tank Davis, with a perfect record of 30-0 with 28 knockouts, is on a 21-fight streak of victories by knockout or technical knockout, barring his decision win against Isaac Pitbull Cruz. He last fought in June, knocking out Frank Martin in the 8th round using his speed and power to outclass Martin. Meanwhile, Roach, a junior lightweight champion, is gaining weight to face Davis, one of boxing's most dominant knockout assassins. You got to look for him, you know. You switch it up now, it ain't gonna do too much. We don't have enough time to switch it up, you know. So some boxing professionals feel like Davis picked a weaker opponent to fight and maintain his perfect record because the fight lacks the excitement and competitiveness a matchup against another top lightweight contender could have offered. Teofimo Lopez feels it's a mismatch and he's less concerned about Lamont Roach's championship status. You know what I'm saying? They about to put him with a guy at 130 pounds, whether he's a champion or not. You getting a guy lighter than you to come up and wait to make you look good again. I'm saying they're about to put him with a guy that's 130 pounds, whether he's a champion or not. You're getting a guy lighter than you, come up and wait to make you look good. I dominate any of them. All right guys, turn out and face the Crow, turn face the Kamer in the back guys. Hector Kamer in the back, a 2-division champion Teofimo Lopez, who just indicated he was ready for a confrontation later this year, is among those looking for a fight. In a recent interview with Fight Hype, Lopez questioned Davis's faith in facing elite opponents, building up his followers, you know, and now look where that got him. So the whole thing is all about, man, just I'm a real fighter, that's what it is, man. The truth, and the truth hurts a lot of people, but they got to learn how to. He underlined the long-standing belief that Davis has been under close control by his management, particularly citing his earlier resistance to face Vasily Lomachenko. The main hole that they have, they don't believe in themselves. How many times did they say that Tank Davis was not ready for LMA, that they had to prep him? How many times did Mayweather have to speak for Tank Davis? I'm just speaking facts, each our words, take it in. I beat Lomachenko. For me, I scored a 9-3. For you guys, I could care less, cause why don't know, __. About boxing, Lopez also spoke of an earlier sparring session he conducted with Davis 11 years ago, whereas Davis was already a professional fighter at 18. Lopez was just 15 at the time. Other than what he described as Davis's aggressive strategies in the ring, Lopez acknowledged that not much can be drawn from the experience. Notwithstanding these observations, Lopez does not minimize Davis's skills. Davis is no easy opponent, he said in a past interview with Fight Sports, but he still believes he is the only one equipped to overcome him. Take that in. I ain't want to, __. Play with. I respect it, man. Your truth. Tank ain't a pushover. I guess the only that can really beat Tank is me. I guess I got to do it. Nobody else can do the job. Female heavyweight champion Claressa Shields, a sworn enemy of Gervonta Davis, surprisingly gave a very balanced prediction. I mean, like, he's a bad man. He can fight and tough. I know we had our dispute back, whatever. At the end of the day, if we talk about just boxing, hey, absolutely. I don't know why everybody's kind of sleeping on Lamont, but he Has a decorated amateur career too. He's a very sturdy kid, he's very skilled. Tank is Tank, and when I say Tank is Tank I mean like he's a bad man. He can fight, he's tough. Of course you don't expect Claressa Shields to forget their feud in a hurry, hence she added, I know we had our dispute back and forth or whatever, but at the end of the day if we talk about just boxing he's a good fighter and I look forward to watching that fight and I look forward to watching that fight. Is this a pay-per-view fight though? Would you buy it? Are you going to buy it? I bought any fight that T has had pay-per-view. Nothing that when asked if it was worth a pay-per-view fight and if she was going to buy the ticket, she answered, I've always bought any fight that Tank has had on pay-per-view, and I think that Lamont Roach is worth watching. I think that this fight is going to be very technical, very skillful, and as always we're going to put the power of Tank on display. Let the best man win this. On the other hand, Tim Bradley calls it a tank protection program. He said this dude looks like a total fraud, put him in the ring with someone that can punch back. This is the tank protection program. This has been going along for a long time, people bringing fighters up from slower weight class to get in there with Tank. Tank looks spectacular, but it's a cover-up. Bring fighters up from a lower weight class to get in there with Tank. Tank looks spectacular, but it's a cover-up. I'm going to tell you right now, I think Tank is a good fighter. They saying they don't have an opponent for. He added, I'm going to tell you right now, I think Tank is a good fighter. They're saying that they don't have an opponent for him. Yes you do. His name is Dos Santos and the fans won't mind paying for a Dos Santos fight, but they're covering something. I don't know what it is. Is it the power of Dos Santos they're worried about? Tank was doing a whole lot of talking when Shakur Stevenson put everybody to sleep with Dos Santos. But he won't step his behind in the ring and face Delos Santos. He concluded that's the fight that everybody wants to see. Nobody's going to pay for this pay-per-view with Lamont Roach. People are going to show up because it's Devon Davis, but those pay-per-view numbers you're chasing, it's going to be a wishing well. Yes you do. His name is De Los Santos and the fans would mind paying for Del Los Santos fight, but they're covering something. I don't know what it is. Is it the power of De Los Santos? On the other hand, the welterweight sensation Kenneth Sims Jr., who has fought against both Roach and Davis, also shared his views about the fight and stated what these fighters must do to win the match. At first the boss man avoided trying to predict the fight as he was on good terms with both of them. Sims felt it would be a bit disrespectful, however he later gave in and spoke about how he and Roach shared some wholesome moments during their nationals when they faced each other in the semi-finals. Definitely a fight that like a great fight for boxing. I think that boxing fans are trying to basically shut the I don't know maybe because he's not a big name, but upon being asked what both of them have to do to win the fight, the Illinois resident mentioned how both Roach and Tank are counter-punchers and to win the fight one of them has to come out of their comfort zone to get the other one to open. He also touched upon the fact that Gervonta Davis is a slow starter and it takes time for him to come into the groove. Tank starts slow, but as the fight goes he is going to pick it up and then he get busy, stated Kenneth Sims Jr. But to win this fight he will have to go on attacking quite earlier than usual, otherwise it might be too late given how fast Roach boxes and picks up points early in the fight. I'm looking forward to watching the fight. Do you think the fact that it is going to be a technical fight, do you think that favors Lamont, or does it favor Tank? This was a surprising take given how most have simply written off Lamont Roach in his lightweight title debut. However, when asked what his views on the Gervonta Davis-Lamont Roach fight were, promoter Eddie Hearn said that Roach is a good fighter and that the overall reaction to the fight was unfair. Following the announcement of the clash scheduled for December 14th, many were surprised by the choice of Roach as Davis's opponent of the Devon Davis-Roach fight. I think that he had a lot of criticism, but Hearn claims that Tank, the WBA lightweight champion, had no choice but to avoid these fighters for various reasons. Ryan Garcia is suspended. Shakur Stevenson is injured. Isaac Pitbull Cruz was recently beaten. Devin Haney overcome. Vasily Lomachenko made the decision to miss the rest of 2024. I won't be doing my phases for this one cause we know the family, that thing. Tank Davis has the option to fight Eden Dos Santos, Andy Cruz, Kaysen Davis and Raymond Mirala, but none of them are as well known as Lamont Roach. There wouldn't be a spike in PPV purchases over Tank Davis's choice of Roach even if he had chosen one of them, and casual boxers wouldn't know who they are. I think the online reaction is a little bit unfair. Lamont Roach is a good fighter. The problem is no one knows who he is, and with Tank's position in the sport people want him in big fights, and it's not a big fight. If you know your boxing it's a good fight. He's a super featherweight, but what were the available options for Tank really? Eddie Hearn said.